All right, hello OAS family. It is time for another book review, and today we are going to be reviewing the fundamentals of Chinese floral painting, Book of the Bamboo, which is, I think, technically volume 3. And this is by Johnson Su-sing Chow. So I don't know if you've heard, but Master Chow recently passed away. It was, as of the recording of this video, I think it was, just a month or so ago. And so our condolences to him and his family. And he had a wonderful, full life and was a notable both master painter and teacher, but also a constant ambassador for the love of Chinese culture and Chinese painting, especially to audiences in the West. So we're going to do a more formal tribute to him in the days coming, but just wanted to make mention of that as we get into this book. So the specifics of the book are, it is 8 1/4 inches wide by 10 3/4 inches high, and this book is segmented in, it was sort of like a much bigger book that was eventually separated into 3 different smaller books. So the pagination numbers are sequential, as if everything was still in a larger book. So it is approximately 63 pages long. So we're going to get into the book here. There's an introduction which talks about the popularity of sort of monochrome ink painting, which started in the kind of Song dynasty, and mentions bamboo as one of the most iconic subjects for that style of painting. So he goes into initially showing just a simple demonstration of just different widths of trunks in this multi-shade of ink color, and goes into a little bit of the technique for drawing the canes and the joints. And then here's a section where he talks about ones that go horizontally versus vertically, and then techniques for rendering sort of older or broken trunks or canes. And then how we talk about the roots and the shoots for the bamboo. So here we see this little rendering style for the roots here, and then little shoots of the bamboo. And then this is what I think of when I think of bamboo shoots. These this picture that you see when you go to an Asian market, they actually eat bamboo shoots and they sell them in a can. And these are, I remember like these pictures on the outside of them when my mom would buy them at the Chinese grocery stores. So this is a little talking about branches or twigs. So you can see here the style for rendering those. Then we get into leaves, these sort of young leaves, how they're sort of sticking up, and how they're really, this is his idea of how they appear on a sunny day where they're reaching for the sun. And then here is another one where he shows this technique of different shades to suggest things in the foreground and in the background. This is a really cool technique. It's like simple, but very effective. And then here is a section of how to do the twigs or the branches, but this time suggesting that it might be raining. So we see a little bit of the droop that's associated with the rain, the slight bend. And then how the leaves would sort of hang and appear heavier in the rain. And then finished bamboo in the rain idea. Then how to talk about rendering the branches or twigs in the wind. So you can see very clearly here, there's this suggestion of the force of the wind. And then how to do the leaves in this same idea. And then a full composition. And then not to be forgotten is the snow. So here is some very kind of cool touches, very subtle ways of suggesting the idea of snow. It's interesting. You see techniques like this, and immediately it's like, oh, why didn't I think of that kind of moment? They're so simple and so effective, but you don't think of them. It's not often that you think of them on your own, but when you see them, it's like, oh yeah. So they're really great little tricks in that way. And then here, the idea of the leaves in the snow. And then really cool full composition of the bamboo in the snow, where he leaves this like unpainted sections of white to suggest the snow, and then hints at it with these lighter touches of ink. Really neat technique. And then hanging. So rather than growing sort of upward, rooted in the ground, you see things like coming out of a cliff, hanging downwards. So this section is on how to do things hanging downwards. And now we're gonna get into some sort of outline or fine line techniques, where he does this sort of white sketch method, and he's just outlining the canes and then the leaves. And then a composition in this purely what he calls the white sketch method. It's just the outline portion of like a gongbi or fine line style painting. And then here we'll see some shading techniques. So this is very nice because it's a single subject done in two styles. So that's really cool to get that kind of variety, because each style has its own supplies and techniques, and they're quite different in feel. So it's nice to see books that cover both styles. And here's a full composition of this sort of young green bamboo in this fine line or gongbi style. And then here's the idea where he takes like a more spontaneous style and then he kind of adds an outline to it. So this is more of kind of like a hybrid style. And we section into the more spontaneous style, this time using color. And then I've seen definitely, when on my trips to China and Taiwan, I've seen forests of purple bamboo. So it's cool to see somebody paint that coloration in the bamboo. It's very distinctive looking. And so this is his version of it. And then his tribute to this vermilion bamboo, which was initially created by Su-sing, this artist from the north, Song Dynasty artist. So here we see a smaller, or what I would say a farther view, a more zoomed out view of a very tall bamboo rendered with a landscape or rock formation. And then we finish with this very elegant, simple, ink-only, monochromatic rendering of these young twigs and leaves. So that is the book. The Fundamentals Chinese Floral Painting, Volume 3 by Su-sing Chow. So I hope you enjoyed this book review, and if you did and want to see more content like this, make sure you like and subscribe our YouTube channel and leave us a comment. Leave us a comment if you are familiar with Master Chow and You know, maybe if you met him in his times where he spent some time in Hong Kong and ended up in Canada. So I know we have customers all over there, and he was quite active up until, you know, he passed away, doing activities in the community, promoting and sharing his love of Asian painting and culture, Chinese painting and culture. So that's the book review. Thanks a lot for watching. Remember, the summer is coming up, it's getting warmer, and bamboo is the four gentlemen subject that represents the summer. So it's a very, very good time to get into bamboo painting, and it's a really wonderful subject if you are trying Chinese painting for the first time. It is quite often the subject that people go to first because of how iconic it is and how simple it is. So fantastic. Thank you very much for watching, and we wish you happy painting.